Alright, hello everyone. Today is October 29th, 2023. It's been a little while since I've uploaded anything too major. I've been pretty busy with work lately and whatnot, but today I'm going to do a video that's been a little bit requested. I've had a couple requests to kind of do some updates on my vehicles, show what's going on with them. There has been a lot going on with them lately, and just thought I'd make this video today to try to get all three of my vehicles done in one swoop. Let me turn this radio off. But I've had a couple requests, one of those being from ProspectElevators, who's right here in my area. So today what I'm doing is we're out in the F-150. Like I said, it's October 29th, so it's pretty late in the year. It's a little chilly out today. I didn't really intend on making a YouTube video today, at least not earlier this weekend. So today I'm taking a little drive over to one of my favorite parks. And like I said, I'm out here in the F-150 today, so I'm going to cruise on over there and get out. Hopefully it's a nice quiet day at the park with how cold and kind of dreary it is outside today. Thankfully no rain though. Get out of the truck and kind of walk around and show what I've done to it lately, what I've had done to it, and the little upgrade that it got, which I think you guys will like. And after that we're gonna head on over and get the car. I've been driving this truck for a few weeks, so it's time to get the car out and drive that around a little while. Gonna do that. We'll get out of the car and show that a little bit. Since you guys really haven't seen my car yet, I'm gonna kind of do an unveiling video of that. Even though I've had my car for about 2 years now. And after that, I think I'll run down to the family farm and we'll go over the progress with my school bus, my 2009 Bluebird All-American. So sit back, relax, stay tuned, and enjoy some driving today. I'm doing this with the dash cam because it's really easy. So I'm just gonna go for a nice drive here, and like I said, hopefully you guys will enjoy this update on my vehicles, showing off my car for the first time. And like I said, enjoy some nice driving video in and around the Chicagoland area, and later on out to the country. Alright, see you guys in a while.
Engine 1 and Medic 2, PD's requesting that you guys go over to the side by Patrol and Hillcrest.
What a crisp fall day. Overcast and dreary, but still quite nice. Nice smell of burning leaves in the air. Anyway, here's your 2023 update on the F-150. Little bits changed. Start with the most obvious changes. Last year, actually around this time, I threw some new tires and wheels on this thing. These are Michelin Defender series with KMC wheels. I wasn't a big fan of these, but what ended up happening is that the wheels that were on here were so badly rusted, I was getting concerned about their stability for the winter. Got a new magnet on there. Not sure if you guys saw that the last time. It's been so long since I filmed this truck. Got them all around. She's a little dirty. I have to apologize. A couple years ago, I did a repaint job on the bumpers. This front bumper isn't holding up that well. The back one is, though. Looks pretty decent. As you guys can see, the rust is slowly spreading. It has been. I'm actually hoping to take it to the body shop next year and have some work done to it. Get rid of some of that rust. Maybe fill it in with some Bondo or something. This is the repaint job I did on the back bumper. It doesn't look like rusty metal anymore. It looks pretty decent. And you guys have probably seen I added a camper top. Took me a long time to find one for this particular make and model of truck, as well as the length of the bed. This was incredibly difficult to find. But this camper top, to my understanding, is for a 10th gen F-150. It's a Raider brand camper top. I bought this from a gentleman down in, I want to say, the Lockport, Homer Glen area. He bought a truck. He bought a 1997 F-250 or F-350 with a 7.3 Power Stroke diesel in it. And someone had jerry-rigged this and stuck it on there and jerry-rigged it to work. She's seen better days, but overall, pretty nice. I made it nice and comfy in here. I'm using some of this for storage, some of the space in here. Some of you might be wondering, why did I get a camper top on this thing? Well, the primary reason was to actually deter people at my work from asking me to help them move. Number two, to kind of add some enclosed space back here that I could actually put stuff in. You guys see I'm already doing that. I do have carpet back here. It's a little dirty. I need to vacuum it. And fun fact, and you guys can see this is kind of crappy, I secured all this down with self-tapping screws. It's not nice by any means, but fun fact about this carpet, these carpet remnants are from the 2023 Chicago Auto Show. There's a gentleman that I go to sometimes. I want to say he's in, I want to say the town is Elmwood Park or something. I have to look it up. It's just east of Elmhurst. And he gets these carpet remnants from McCormick Place after they finish up the Chicago Auto Show every year, and he sells them. So found this nice carpet that the Lamborghinis and the Ferraris and all the other fancy vehicles drove over at one point, and now it's found a great home back here in my bed. So that extra piece back there, I'm hoping to do the tailgate at some point, but it's become pretty comfy back here. The camper top has sliding windows. I can't access that one on the back because my truck does not have a back window, so that kind of stinks, but it does have it. I've got sliding windows and screens on the side. Very nice. I have it held down with these camper top clamps. took the impact driver to those and just beat the heck out of them. My coworker and friend Steve helped me with this. We did put new weather stripping under here, and he also insisted on caulking all the way around, which he did, and I didn't think the caulk would be necessary, but it really has helped to keep 100% of the water out. It's been amazing. So now the camper top itself has a third brake light. I replaced this and fixed it. When I got it, all I had was part of this mount here. This side was cracked off and I had this side and it was riveted on. Drilled out the rivets and I actually found the exact replacement for this third brake light. Did not think I would find it, but I did. And the wiring for it, I cleaned it up very nicely too. This light was added by the last person that owned this camper top. It's got insanely long screws that go through here. I don't know how they go all the way through without penetrating the roof, but they don't. It's just a cheap little battery powered light, which actually does a very poor job. But I have some old school bus dome lights that I got from my company when I was stripping out one of the buses that I hope to jerry rig into here, put some LEDs and put on a switch. So anyway, this third brake light, I've got the wires coming up here. They had these kind of couple plastic pieces to secure it down, and these also I took from my little parts bin at work. These little wire securement things that came out of a couple of our buses. Put some of this insulation cover over the wires, ran it down, added a connector, and that wire comes down here, behind there, runs into there, behind here, behind the tail light. This is where I have it drilled for the ground. And then the wire, there's a green wire on all of these F-Series trucks that's hidden way up there under the bed. And you can tap off of that wire to get your third brake light. If you tap it into one of these, your third brake light will be flashing with the turn signals. So the only way to do it on these is to use that extra wire they put down there. So I'm very glad they included that on these trucks. So overall, she has served her purpose very well, and this is the best addition to this truck that I've ever gotten. I'll show you guys the third brake light. And while I'm at it, I'll come inside and I'll show you what's new on the inside. There's not much. There's a little bit. Here, let's first stay on topic and turn around, and I can probably just show it in the mirror. I replaced the incandescent bulb that came with it with pulsating LEDs that pulsate the first few times and then go solid. It's nice that the fixture has those little holes in it, so every time I look out my rear view mirror I can see it. There it is. And then I still, of course, have my regular third brake light up here, which does still work, as well as the door open lights. Oh, I just replaced both of those bulbs and that LED's already starting to fail. How nice. I replaced both those LED bulbs right before I put this camper top on because the LEDs I popped in there were failing. Still got my antennas for my radios a little more spaced out after somebody commented on that. I thank you to those people, multiple people who commented on that. Still got my 3 radios in here, my Kenwoods and my CB. In addition, I also got a nice little LED strip kit from my brother, which I hardwired in, and these things are super cool. The remote for them is right here. I need to replace the batteries in it, but I've got all these fancy color features, and I'll start the truck and show them to you guys. I've had a lot of maintenance work, a lot of maintenance done to this truck the past year. She actually just got a new starter, so you'll hear that right now. The starter crapped out, ironically, when it was at the mechanic, and thankfully it did. Seatbelt chimes stopped working. It's not working anymore, and I think there's something jammed in my seatbelt, so it thinks I have the seatbelt on, but I don't. So my startup chime is no longer working. Let's see if there's my odometer. I'm currently at 184/360.
Medic 27, you on?
I'll turn this off. You guys look. give you guys a little chatter first.
There you go. I gotcha.
My Vantrue dash cam, which I just showed. My N2 Pro. This year I just got done having the AC compressor in this replaced, the belts, the starter. I had the parking brake cable done earlier this year, the parking brake switch, which is something that I could have easily done myself, but I didn't feel like doing. What else have I had done to this truck? I've had a couple other big ticket items done on this truck this year. The power steering gearbox and the power steering pump. So this truck has gotten quite a bit done to it. I'm actually embarrassed to admit how much money I've dumped into this truck. What else do we have on the inside? A couple years ago, I had this knob popping off of here, so I ended up going to the junkyard. Victory Auto Wreckers found another 10th gen F-150, pulled this whole assembly off of and replaced. Over here, I got all of my dash lights working behind my HVAC controls. I put LEDs in here that are way too bright, but they look insanely cool. I think I put 168s in there, 168 LED bulbs, and I also replaced the bulb in here, so now I have a nice little light in my cup holder, which is super cool. And here are those nice LED strips. I've got them underneath there, and I have them on the sides of the seats as well. So at night this thing looks really cool. Still got my Alpine CD 153 BT Bluetooth stereo that's barely holding on. It's holding on for dear life. Still have incandescent everything except for the third brake light, which I said is a pulsating LED. But other than that, everything else on this is still incandescent, which is how I plan to keep it. So really, there's not a lot to show with the truck. Just, of course, she's just been a continual money pit. But I love her. It's a great vehicle. Just gotta maintain vehicles. I got an iPass too. I realized that was just kind of a necessary evil. Got iPasses in both of my vehicles. So yeah, not really anything too special with her. I'll demonstrate the lights a little bit if I can get them to do anything. Yep. Green, I can change the color to green, I can change it to red. There's color strobe, which is very distracting at night. I have it on color fade. So, really cool. It's an Opt 7 LED strip kit. If you're interested in getting yourself one, I wired it myself. The control box is down there, kind of near the parking brake pedal. As you guys can see it down there, Velcroed on, and I do have it hardwired to the fuse panel under there. So, anyway, pretty cool stuff. That's the truck for you guys. And this, I've been driving this a little less this year. I'm trying to save money on fuel. The fill-ups on this thing are insanely expensive, even with the slightly lower gas prices, even though they're not as low as they should be. But anyway, so I'm gonna actually go switch this for the car, and we're gonna bring the car back here and show you guys my car, which you guys have really not seen a good overview video on. So I think that's about it for the truck. Alright guys, we're back at the woods. A little bit of rain is falling now. Anyway, here is your first official look at my new car, if you want to call it that. I haven't really had time to make a video of this, but I've actually owned this car since September, late September of 2021. This is my 2006 Pontiac Vibe. This is my second vehicle. Well, I guess you could say my third technically. I had the original red F-150 my dad sold me. I sold that, got the white F-150, and then bought this. So technically the third vehicle I've acquired. I bought her as a replacement daily driver to my F-150, not getting rid of my F-150, but just getting a new daily driver to kind of save on gas. And I really do love the Pontiac Vibe. I've had a soft spot for this car for a long time, since my mom owns one and has owned one since it was new. Hers is an 04. I'm sure you guys have seen it in my other videos. But the Vibe really is an incredible car. They're still pretty common on the roads. They made these from 2003 to 2010 with the second generation facelift coming out in 2009. But these are really amazing little cars. I'm in a nice Facebook group called Gen Vibe. Just a Facebook group dedicated to these cars. I bought this car. This car was kind of I call this car my miracle from God. She has 131,000 miles on her right now. But I bought her at 115,970 something, 970 or 980 something, from an older couple up in Crystal Lake for, I believe it was $2,900. I paid $2,900 for this car with only 115,900 something on it. And you really can't get much better than that. The same car with the same mileage, if not less, just a little less, is going on Marketplace for anywhere between $5,000 and $7,000. So it really was a miracle that I was able to pick this thing up for the price that I did. The couple that I bought it from bought it for their high school son to get to school in, and before that it was owned by a family where their high school daughter used it to get to and from school. So it was very lightly driven, a lot of just around the town, around Crystal Lake, Illinois driving. And as you guys can see, she's not in the best shape. The headlights are faded. I'm hopefully going to do a headlight restoration next year. I would like to. Got a bunch of paint chips on the hood, probably from rocks. Unfortunately, a couple of those spots are starting to rust. So I want to get it to the body shop next year, see if we can get that taken care of. You can already see I've got my antennas up, just the crappy mag mounts. I've had my radio set up in this vehicle, and I'll give you a tour around on the inside. She's got the 1.8 liter Toyota in her. This is the, it's not the completely base model, but it's also nothing too special. We've got power windows, power locks, no sunroof, which is perfectly fine with me. Just your average Pontiac Vibe. If any of you are looking for a pretty affordable, older, reliable, compact car, this is what you're looking for right here. I learned to drive mostly on my mom's 04 Vibe, so this is very familiar to me. I'm very comfortable in this car. It's nothing luxury, of course, but it's very nice. There she is. 131,375 miles, very low mileage for this year. So I'll start by giving you guys a little tour around. I've got my iPass. I got my iPass for this car at the same time as I got it for my truck. I've also got a Vantrue N2 Pro dash cam in this vehicle. Same as the F-150. I actually just switched them, so my dash cam for the F-150 is there. Same dash cam. Up here I've got my Kenwood NX800H Next Edge two-way radio. the head for it. I actually bought the remote head kit for this radio, so the radio itself, the guts actually, they sit under the driver's seat. But I ran the cable up the A-pillar behind here and made a very nice installation with this remote head, and it's pretty sturdy too. Tied the microphone cable up, and my microphone is up here. So that's my UHF radio right there. Coming down here, this I did not replace. This is a Pioneer DEH-X6600BT Bluetooth stereo. I like this thing a lot. Sorry about the dust, guys. This car's been sitting a little while. It's a nice Bluetooth stereo. They did a very professional installation on it. I don't know who did the stereo. Like I said, I know this car had at least 2 owners before me, if not 3. They did a very nice job with the installation on this, and they even, as you guys can see, went as far to install the Bluetooth microphone for the phone, which I have used quite a bit. It's really come in handy. You've got the map lights on the mirror. My mom has the sunroof controller with the light up there. This is a little different. We've got my other radio, my Kenwood NX700 VHF down here, which, same as my truck, I used to monitor the Ducom fire and the railroads and everything. Just like the other NX700 I have that came from the Union Pacific, it came out of a railroad service truck. This radio came out of a train locomotive, which is really cool. Some small short line railroad, and the locomotive was scrapped, and found this radio on Marketplace and bought it up. My microphone for that is over here. I have installed the same LED lights, same LED light kit that's in the truck, and I've also installed this cigarette lighter power plug extension, which is made by CH Geek. Got it secured over here. This is my dash cam plug-in right there, and I've got a phone charger as well, and that's the connector for it, which has my alternator voltage readout. I've replaced both of the interior lights with LED bulbs. There's those. They look pretty nice. They're pretty bright. Turn on my high beams. So go on. This car has needed some maintenance done to it. It's actually needed a little bit. I actually bought this car because I knew based on what my mom has, and I've got my little garbage back here. Based on the very little amount of work that's had to be done to my mom's car, I really was expecting this to be a pretty trouble-free car. Unfortunately, I have had some issues with it. Most recently, the AC stopped working. I really don't use the air conditioning that much. Oh, and I have LED plate lights I put in there as well, and an LED third brake light. Anyway, the AC stopped working. I don't really use it, but I did want it working just in case. So I had that fixed. That ended up being the compressor, or the condenser actually. I had the AC condenser done in this thing. The alternator earlier this year, or might have been late last year, I think, crapped out in the driveway, started making a horrible noise and overheating, so I ended up backing the car into the garage and just doing the alternator by myself, which was fine. What else was I gonna say about it? There's a lot to say about this car. I've done a lot more to it than that. Back here we've got the original Vibe trunk mat, which is really cool. Got my kind of like a storage carry basket, but I just leave it back here. It's got my snow scraper and a bunch of other stuff, tissues and whatnot. Triangle kit, of course, from an old bus that I painted up and made it look nice. View back here, so 3 out of the 4 Vibe wheels were replaced. That's the rims. It's the only original Pontiac Vibe rim that's on here. She's a little dirty under here, but not looking too bad. So I believe the model on this, it's the 1ZZ Toyota engine, 1.8 liter. What I love about these things is that, from what I've seen, these will go 300,000-400,000 miles easily if you take care of them. Purrs like a kitten, runs very well. I'm taking meticulous care of it as far as changing oil and whatnot. She's a little dirty. I haven't had a lot of time lately, so otherwise I would have cleaned it out. I actually, like I said, I just went to pick this thing up, so let's take a listen. She's a pretty peppy little car. I'm happy with her.
Unconscious. Thinking near. District 234.
So,
306 West Army Trail Road.
some power mirrors. She's very clean.
23. La Cantana. Cross Street of Killdeer Road and Martin Lane.
Forgot to comment. The other thing, she's incredibly clean. For being a 2006, it's a blessing that this car has been driven by very seldom by high school students the past few years until I purchased it, because overall it didn't get driven that much and it's been very well taken care of, and I'm trying to continue taking care of it the same. So anyway, so that's really all there is to see. It's my 2006 Pontiac Vibe. She's been a very nice gas saver, I'll say that. So that's about it for the car. so I have safely made it from Lombard to Leland. And now it's time to check up on my biggest vehicle, good old 2278. A lot of you have probably been wondering how's she coming, and as you can see, she hasn't come very far this year. I wanted to have her up and running late last year, early this year, but I've hit a few snags in this project. Unfortunately, finding parts for this thing has been a real pain in the butt. But I'm hoping to have her up and running within the next few weeks here, but no promises on that. So I'll just share some of the things that have changed since I last I made the last update on her. I pulled the engine fan off of her, pulled the old alternator off, and I have this tarp over it right now because I actually have the new alternator on. It's right here. This is a new replacement Bosch alternator. Ironically, here's a box for it. Ironically, I found it on Amazon, of all places, which is pretty funny. I put that on. I need to make the electrical connections, and then I'm gonna pull this tarp off, and I need to install the new serpentine belt, which is right here. After that happens, I'm waiting for a good friend of mine to finish fabricating me a radiator mount. It's a long story, but unfortunately, one of the original radiator mounts for this bus ended up getting thrown out. Me thinking this new aftermarket radiator, I thought the mounts that came with it would be good, but it turned out they were both garbage. So I got a partial refund on the garbage mounts / brackets, whatever you want to call them, that they sent me. But in the meantime, I was only left with one of the original radiator mounts. So I have, like I said, one of my good friends and a really good business owner of a nice oil change shop in my area. He is currently fabricating me a new radiator mounting bracket for the left side because I could not find the part anywhere, and Central States would not sell me the bracket itself. I had to buy a whole new radiator for, I think it was like $2,100 or something like that, some outrageous price that I wasn't gonna pay. But I do have a new radiator for it sitting right here. This is aftermarket from a website called fleetcooling.com. I have the fan shroud right here. It is all painted up and looking pretty nice. It's the intercooler right there. So I did that. I finally had a chance to spruce up the battery box a little bit. Again, I haven't made much progress on this bus, but I made a little bit. So in here, I have a replacement battery tray that came off of the sister bus that I thoroughly cleaned and repainted. I also have all new, this is hardware that I used chemical to remove the rust off of all these parts and painted them. So this is basically all new hardware in here. So, so much better than the rusty garbage that was in here, and this door will be getting switched with the replacement door that I have. So after I get the alternator, the belt, and the fan back on, and I install the radiator and the intercooler, put the whole front end of the bus back together, I'm going to be coming in here and working in here. I'm going to be replacing this EGR cooler, which I'm guessing is badly coked up with soot, as well as this EGR valve. As you guys can see, I'm actually missing, maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, I'm actually missing a couple bolts off that EGR valve, so I'm going to have to replace those. I love that I got the bus like that. Of course, when I was driving this bus in revenue service, I wasn't the one working on it, so I never really knew about the small things like that. But the EGR cooler, I should have it around here. Yes, here it is. This is an EGR, this is the EGR cooler off of one of the other scrapped flat noses, and I did a very good job cleaning this thing out completely. This one was in really good shape, and I was able to get the Purple Power solution, a whole bucket of it, soaked it for a couple hours, ran it through, and I was able to flush out all that built up soot in there. So that's going to be going on there. And then I went ahead, thankfully, this is a part I was able to find on eBay. This is a new EGR valve. Here it is. Brand spanking new. Part number on this for anyone that is curious. K5T70277. This is the EGR valve for the older model Cummins ISB engines. So there's that. But I am not going to be starting work on the EGR stuff until I get the whole front end of the bus back together. I want to do it bit by bit so I'm not forgetting where stuff goes and whatnot. But yeah, it was throwing EGR codes, running like crap. I also have a hot pipe for it, this hot pipe that runs here between the valve and the cooler. I'm guessing that is all coked up as well, so somewhere in here I have a hot pipe that I cleaned as well. So here's the radiator fan and my engine cover, all this fun stuff. So I'm really hoping that Brian will have my radiator mounts done within the next couple weeks here, and I can get down here and throw this thing back together and get it up and running before it gets too terribly cold. Before I had this tarped off, which I should have had it tarped off from the beginning, but I didn't. But the barn cats around here had sort of made their home. Thankfully, they haven't done their business in here. But this is going to have to be very much cleaned. This bus has, well, maybe it did when it originally was built, but it doesn't have one now, a backup alarm. So I found this Echo backup alarm. This is the kind they use on garbage trucks. It's got the warble sound to it. So I think that'll be a pretty cool addition to it. But I came in here and cleaned a little bit over the summer, but it's still pretty dirty. And like I said, the cats really made their home in the driver's seat, but I'm very thankful they haven't done their business in here. So I'm doing my best to keep them out, but I figure they're also doing a pretty good job of keeping the rodents out. So I think that's really about it. Unfortunately, she's been sitting, so I would not be surprised if this thing is going to need a set of hydraulic brake lines, which I don't know how that's going to get done yet. But I'm really excited to hopefully fire her up. I like to do an oil change as well before I throw her back together. But yeah, she's just been sitting here all year, just kind of rotting away. I'm hoping, like I said, I'm really hoping to have her at least moved out of this spot, get her some exercise before the year is over. Hoping we can get a couple more nice weekends, and maybe I can get some help throwing this front end back together and have her up and running. So that's the update on my bus. Like I said, not a whole lot going on. The steps have been very small. They're steps nonetheless, but unfortunately they have been very small. I was hoping to be way ahead of here, but if you buy a used bus, especially an 09 All-American, just know that parts are going to be a little difficult to find. I was really hoping I'd find a junk All-American somewhere, you know, from this year that I could have salvaged some more parts off of, but unfortunately, this is not a very common bus anymore, so anyway, I have a whole bunch of other parts in here, just not ones I really need right now. I even have a full turbo and VGT in one of these boxes, in case the turbo on this thing should blow, which the amount of smoke that it's puffing out on acceleration, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm really hoping between the EGR system, the replacement of the EGR components, hopefully changing the oil and maybe the air filter. I doubt that's been done in a long time. I'm really hoping I can get this thing accelerating much nicer, no more engine warning and everything like that, because the last it was checked, it does have EGR codes. So I'm really hoping the sluggish acceleration this bus has always been known for will hopefully be a little bit quicker. So anyway, I think that's really about all there is to share with 2278. So today I've done quite a bit. You guys saw my new car, you guys got an update on the truck, and you guys got an update on my bus. So, and you guys got a little see a little scenic driving. And yeah, no, I know this bus doesn't take DEF. That's just an extra container that I have, extra box in case I need to store any fluids. So anyway, I thank you guys very much for watching today. I'll try to keep you guys updated with this stuff the best I can. And have a good day.